I just had to let you know you're.
Good morning, Miss Aisha.
Good morning, Miss Nusri.
Please have a seat. Thank you for appointing us as your company's external auditor. We truly appreciate the opportunity to perform the audit of your financial statement.
You are welcome, Miss Nusri. We choose your firm because of your professionalism and strong reputation. We appreciate your team effort through the audit process.
Thank you. After reviewing your financial statement and examining the supporting documents, we have completed our audit procedures. During our review, we identified several findings that we would like to discuss with you today.
I see. We would like to understand the finding and whether there are any issues that need our attention.
Certainly, we'll explain to each finding together with the supporting evidence and our recommendations. Let's begin with the first finding. Good day, my name is Nusrini Binti Muhammad Nasir, and today I'll be presenting my audit simulation report on the audit of sales and account receivable for Bubbles and Berhad. The purpose of this audit was to make sure the sales transactions were valid, account receivable were accurate, and both were properly presented completely in the financial statement. I carried out several audit procedures. I inspected all sales invoices to ensure they were complete and properly approved. I also recalculated the account receivable balance, examined receipt notes and bank statements, reviewed debit notes for discounts, and recalculated the allowance for doubtful debt based on the company's policy. From the audit, I found several issues. First, I found the sales invoices were complete and properly approved. However, the invoice number were not continuous as 2 invoice numbers were missing. The company should investigate whether these invoices were cancelled or accidentally omitted. Second, sales record did not agree with the supporting documents. As a result, account receivable were overstated by 20,000 ringgit Malaysia. I also found that some receipt notes contain incomplete information, making it difficult to trace payments due to mismatched reference numbers. I also found that a discount was incorrectly recorded as a written inwards instead of sales discount. In addition, the allowance for doubtful debt was not calculated according to the company's policy and needs to be adjusted. I also found that customer Damin Kelly overpaid by 3,000 ringgit, which should be recorded as a customer credit or refunded. In conclusion, most sales transactions were supported by proper documents. However, the issues identified should be corrected to ensure the financial statements are accurate and reliable.
I will present the audit documentation for purchases and accounts payable of Bubbles and Berhad. The main objective of this audit are to verify that all purchase transactions are properly authorized and related to legitimate business operations. In addition, we aim to ensure the completeness and accuracy of purchases recorded during the year. We also reconcile the accounts payable balance, identify any misclassified items or personal purchases, and ensure that transactions are recorded in the correct accounting period. To achieve this objective, several audit procedures were carried out. First, we vouched all supplier invoices and agreed amounts, date, and description with the purchase records. Next, we verified that the goods received acknowledgement were present on the invoice and ensure that all purchases were properly authorized. We also reconciled the opening accounts payable balance and trace-related payments. Lastly, we examined all purchased items to ensure they will consist with Bubbles and Berhad's grocer business. Based on our audit, we identified several significant findings. First, goods amounting to 185,500 were taken by Mr. Thomas for personal use but were not recorded as drawings. As a result, business expenses were overstated. Secondly, total purchases increased significantly from 80,000 in 2023 to 271,000 in 2024, mainly due to the owner's personal consumption. Furthermore, no payment were made to creditors during 2024, which indicate a serious liquidity issue. However, we found that all supplier invoices were accurately recorded and fixed. assets such as laptop and motorcycle were correctly capitalized. In conclusion, the purchases and accounts payable component is not clearly stated and requires significant audit adjustment to ensure that the financial statement present a true and fair view.
My name is Siti Aisha binti Zulkifli. Next, I will present about simulation report on the audit of salaries. The scope of this audit is to examine payroll-related expenses, including salaries, EPF, SOCSO, and other related payments to ensure that they are properly recorded in the accounting records. The audit objectives are completeness, to ensure all payroll expenses are fully recorded in the general ledger and statement of profit or loss, and accuracy to verify that all transactions are recorded with the correct amount and supported by the payment voucher and bank statement. To achieve this objective, we obtain the payment voucher listing, compare payment voucher with bank statement, just selected transaction to the general ledger, review the classification of expenses, and reconcile the records to identify any error or unusual differences. From our audit, we identified several findings. We found duplicate salary transactions that were not supported by payment voucher or bank statement. We also found that several salary payments were not recorded in the salary ledger, such as management fees and motor vehicle expenses were incorrectly classified as salary expenses. We also identified duplicate posting involving the EPF and SOCSO account. However, we confirmed that the monthly salary payment of 2,000 was consistently supported by the bank statement. In conclusion, the audit identified weakness in the company internal control, including duplicate posting, omission, and incorrect classification. This issue may affect the accuracy and reliability of the financial statement. Therefore, the company should improve its internal control and review process to prevent similar errors in the future.
I will present the audit documentation for the expense transaction of Babur Sinar Berhad for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. The objectives of the audit were to verify that our expense transaction were properly authorized, accurately recorded, and supported by valid documents. We also aim to ensure that the expense agree with the accounting record, verify the year-ended adjustment, and identify any duplicated or unusual transaction. To achieve this objective, we perform 5 audit procedures. First, we obtain the company profile and general ledger for the financial year ended 31st December 2034. Second, we match each expense transaction in the company profile with the corresponding entry in the general ledger. Third, we verify the reference number of the payment voucher, petty cash voucher, and debit notes against the general ledger. Fourth, we compare the general ledger balance with the balance reported in the statement of profit or loss. Finally, we check the transaction dates, expense description, and recorded amount against the supporting document to ensure the information was accurate and complete. Based on our audit procedure, we identified several findings. The most common issue was posting error where salary, electricity, maintenance, and petty cash transactions were posted to incorrect expense accounts. We also identified an amount error, where a salary payment was recorded with the wrong amount and a SOCSO contribution that required further verification. In addition, we found duplicate year-end adjustment entry for depreciation vehicle and doubtful debt, which caused the general ledger balance exceed the amount reported in the financial statement. Overall, most expense transactions were supported by valid documents. However, this posting classification amount and duplicate entry error should be corrected to improve the accuracy and reliability of the financial statement.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Now I will be presenting Report B on the cash and bank balance of Babur Sinar Berhad. The objective of our audit was to verify the existence, completeness, accuracy and valuations, right and obligations, as well as the presentations and disclosure of the company's cash and bank balance. To achieve this, we compared the year-end bank balance with the trial balance, vouchered the receipt notes and payment vouchers to the bank statements, and reviewed the bank reconciliations and petty cash records. Based on our audit procedures, we identified 5 key findings. First, we found a reference number discrepancy in receipt note 1501. Although the amounts received was correct, the reference number recorded in the receipt note did not match the bank statement. So, management should obtain clarification from the bank. Second, we identified duplicate posting entries in several payment vouchers, which overstated the ledger balance and required corrections. And third, we found a posting error in payment voucher 150518, where the same invoice was recorded in two different accounts instead of one. Fourth, we identified an authorization issue. Payment vouchers 150528 and 150529 were processed without the director's approval, indicating a weakness in internal controls. Finally, we found petty cash control issues, where high value and operational payments were made using petty cash instead of bank transfer, reducing the effectiveness of cash controls. In conclusion, the cash and bank balance were fairly stated. However, management should improve its internal controls. That's all from my part. Thank you.
I just had to let you know you're